Well. Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another stream on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone has had a great Friday so far. It's finally the weekend. The international break is finally over. Proper football is returning tomorrow afternoon at Elland Road as Leeds United take on Burnley. And obviously, I'm here with Isaac from the White Wall, and we are going to preview the game. Obviously, we'll speak about Burnley, we'll speak about Leeds, just speak about everything really that's going on at Leeds United at the minute. So before we get into it, please make sure that you're smashing that like button. It really does help get it out there to more people. Subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, of course, and make sure you're getting your comments in, and I'll flash them up all on screen. Mike's in the building. Evening, Mike. How we doing? And yeah, hit the notification bell as well, guys, so that you're aware of when content is out on the channel. So Isaac, how are we, mate? All good?
I'm very glad the international break's over, mate. We've been talking privately, just willing it to be over, but I'm glad it's here and the business is back.
Yeah, I think it's. I felt it came a bit too early in the season as well. This international break, it felt like the season kind of just started really, and then all of a sudden it's finished again. And just at the right time when Leeds were building a bit of good form up as well. It just ends, but hopefully we can continue that tomorrow. But yeah, obviously, I think we spoke briefly off air, about this. But do you think maybe the international break kind of was a good thing? Obviously now the window's closed, it gives the chance for the squad to get used to each other. Now it's like a settled squad, at least until January anyway. But I think it could maybe work to our advantage. What do you think about that?
Oh, mate, I'm 6-2 freeze. Like, when we're winning, I just want us to carry on. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm scarred from last year where we won like 12-13 on the spin and then undefeated in 12-13, as you say, and then didn't win a game. What felt like the rest of the season till the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? In that March international. But yeah, we've got new players that need a few new players that need to bed in. Like Schmidt, I forgot we signed Schmidt till I saw that inside training video earlier. And
I did as well.
I was like, there he is, the boy. And obviously, Ramazani getting up to match fitness. Solomon's gone away with Israel, like a few of the other lads. But yeah, mate, like you said, it felt like the season was just starting to get going, getting into like a routine. And then we'll have a 2-week circuit break.
Yeah, but obviously, as we've said, the international break's now done. Thank God. I think there's a game on now, actually. I think Hull are playing Sheffield United at the minute.
We'll have a check.
But who really wants to watch that, really? I bet that'll be
no one.
A crap game of football to watch. Obviously, it's 0-0. It's only been going 6 minutes, but at least proper football is back, like we keep saying. So, I mean, we'll briefly touch upon it. Obviously, I don't want to talk about it too long because I think we spoke about it at length last night on the White Wall, which if you haven't already, guys, go and check out the White Wall and subscribe to that channel as well. The Angus Kinnear interview on the square ball, like I say, I won't talk about it too much because I feel like we'd be here all night. There is a game to speak about, but overall, mate, how do you feel about the interview as a whole? Do you think they asked the right questions? Do you think we got the right answers? How are you feeling?
Mate, I saw it was out there and it was about 6:30 last night and I was like, right, we're doing a pod at 8. And then something happened and I couldn't watch it. So I was like, the lads are defo going to want to talk about this. I'm going to be in a bit of trouble with this. So we did the pod and I sort of like tried to steer it. I was like, oh, what do you lads think? Don't ask me. But yeah, I watched it all last night, mate. And I watched it with my missus, and even my missus gets involved in like the Angus ones for some reason. And do you fancy Angus or something? No. But yeah, I just think I can't help but like Angus. Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with all his decisions. Like him selling, we had to sell. Was it 2 players he said we had to sell?
Yeah, 2, yeah.
Could have been any 2, so it didn't necessarily mean it was going to be Archie Gray. But I don't know. Like now we've moved on. I'm like, were we ever that bothered anyway? But then if you ask me, like before he got sold, it'd have been like, do not sell him at all. But yeah, mate, I'm very happy with the questions the square ball asked. I thought like they asked the uncomfortable questions and they made a few like remarks as well. And he was like, oh, we've had 3 seasons in the Premier League, a promotion, and I went, yeah, you had a relegation as well. And he was like, oh yeah, that as well. Well, that made me laugh, mate. But no, the square did really well, as they always do. Pretty happy with, like, I don't know if I'm going to be on my own with this. I'm going to get, I hope Owen's not watching, he'll like violate me, but I was pretty happy with what Angus said, to be fair, overall. Like, what you expected, mate, like you said.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything in which he said that surprised me. There wasn't any.
Were you not surprised that there was Wendy? Was that not a surprise?
It was, but at the same time, it wasn't either, because I think there's a lot of talk about people saying that Leeds might as well just change their name to We Tried FC, and that's kind of what he was saying, you know, that, and I get the point he made when he said, you know, that you've got to be ambitious, and in a way I do rate that, to be fair, but at the same time, like, I think it was Michael Normanton said to him, he was like, well, if you knew these targets were unattainable, then why go in for them?
Yeah, mate, yeah,
first place? And I thought that was a good point to make, because, again, I can understand both sides. I can understand Leeds trying for these players, because imagine if we'd have managed to get a Buendia or a Gus Hamer in it, it'd have been unreal. Yeah. But then, like Kinnear said with Gus Hamer, they put a £13 million bid in, which he felt was a fair offer, which I didn't think it was. I thought it was a bit low.
Joke.
And then Sheffield basically came back and said, no, like, he isn't for sale, and he's especially, you know, he isn't for sale to you. And it was like, right, okay then. But I don't know, mate. I feel like there's a lot of people online who have absolutely slated him for some of the things that he said. But I'm at the point where Gray, Somerville and Rutter are gone.
Yeah, mate, in the past.
It's in the past now. It's done. We need to stop going on about it and just move on. He's explained why they went, and I was quite, when I say happy, I was understanding of his reasoning for why the players went. Somerville sounded like he was, I don't think he was kicking up a fuss, but he was saying that he wanted to leave, basically, from
attitude problem, mate. Strikes again.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Gray was one of those where maybe if the clause hadn't been activated, he wouldn't have kicked up a fuss and he'd have just stayed. But as soon as the Premier League comes calling, you can't begrudge him it, can you? Like he said, the deal is life changing for him. So, and obviously Georgia just ended up leaving, obviously, because his clause got activated right at the very last second.
Adamant he wanted to, Angus said. Adamant.
What did you make to his comments about the stadium?
Initially, when this first got brought up, I think it was... Sorry, someone's car just blew up outside my hotel, mate.
What was that?
I think it was a car backfiring, either that or someone's been shot. If you see anyone on the news in Slough, you heard it live.
Isaac's at a hotel before anyone asks. Like, he's not at home.
I'm in a band at a hotel as well. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, what was I saying there? Oh, when the
stadium.
Yeah, when the stadium initially got announced, like, oh, we're looking at doing an extension. Was it when we first went up?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah,
I was
it's been spoke about for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, class. But then when they went into more detail yesterday in saying, oh, it's probably going to be like majority, like corporate seats and that. I was just like, great. And like, one thing I did think Angus's response was piss poor was about the season ticket waiting list.
Yeah, I think that was probably I think that was the poorest bit of the interview from him. In fairness, yeah.
And him saying, "Oh, well, it doesn't really matter if you're number 5 in the queue or number 20,000 in the queue. Like, it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to get one until we do this expansion." Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was a bit poor on his part.
Yeah. Like I said, if there was a poor thing to take from it, I think that was probably the only thing. Yeah. Even the Red Bull thing, I didn't think was that poor. I thought he explained it as well as he could. You know, I felt like they kind of tried to keep probing him with certain comments they were making about Red Bull, and I was like, look, even if he thinks deep down that the name of the club's going to change and it's going to be RB Leeds, which it won't be, and he even said that, he said if that was going to happen, then he'd leave. Yeah. So I kind of rated him for that, to be fair. But even if he did think that were going to happen, he's not going to say it on that podcast,
nah, but
at all.
To counter that, if Red Bull did buy. By the way, I didn't know they owned as much as 10%. When they said they
Yeah,
believe
I didn't either.
I was like, that's quite a lot. That
Yeah, it is.
what I
Yeah.
initially thought. But if they buy us out 100%, mate, they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? So with or without Angus, I don't think they will.
It sounds a bit cutthroat to say, but in terms of that sort of stuff, we don't get a say in it.
Nah, we've not got a choice.
It's all in house. It's all behind the scenes. I know fans all around country put a stop to that European Super League and stuff, which fair enough. But I think when it comes to stuff like that, if Red Bull took over and they wanted to change the name, then they'd be changing the name, wouldn't they? It's as simple as that, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, enough about Angus now. I feel like we could talk about it all night, to be honest.
Yeah.
There is a game at Elland Road tomorrow between us and Burnley, a top of the table clash, or a future top of the table clash potentially.
First versus
maybe not now, but yeah, I think as the title of the video suggests, I personally think this is the biggest game of the season so far.
Yep.
Maybe not in terms of opponent, because there may be better teams that we'll face this season potentially, but I just think it's the first team that we're playing where if we play well and win, I think it's a bit of a statement to the likes of Sheffield United, maybe Luton, if they improve, maybe Coventry, Sunderland especially, who have started off really good. I think it'd be a real statement of intent, Isaac. What about you?
Yeah, mate, I think it's going to be a really good measuring stick to know where we are, I think, after Saturday. So I think if we go and turn Burnley over, I mean, I predicted 4-0 yesterday. I'm not quite as confident.
You did?
I don't know why. Now it's getting a bit closer. I'm like, not sure about that. But
you change your mind a bit now?
Nah, I think we'll win, and I think we'll win comfortably, to be honest. I don't know why. I'm not basing that off any fact. I rate Scott Parker as a manager. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good measuring stick to see where we really are. If we are the best team in this division, I believe we are, but Burnley are going to be up there. So it's our first real test, mate, like you say.
Yeah, no, I think it's it'll be interesting as well, because obviously they've had a similar summer window to us to a degree. I think they've lost more players than we have, but I think the quality that we lost is way more than what they have, to be fair. Yeah. But they've been rinsed for players. They have brought a few in fairness. Obviously, a familiar face in Jadon Anthony. They've got Sarmiento in on loan from Brighton, who was at Ipswich last season, had a really good season with them. Obviously, Connor Roberts has gone back after his loan spell at Leeds last season. So they have got good players. They've had a bit of a mixed start, I would say. Obviously, first 2 games of the season, I was quite nervous for us. I was thinking Burnley are going to walk this league comfortably. They beat Luton 4-1, and then Cardiff 5-0. Who I've heard a lot of people say that they weren't actually that good on that day, even though they won 5-0.
Yeah, that can happen.
Kind of strange. Yeah. It can happen, yeah. And obviously, then they went on to they lost to Sunderland.
Yep.
And then they drew the East Lancashire derby with Blackburn in the game before. No, they drew it.
Was it? I'm sure they lost.
They drew against Blackburn. It was 1-1, and then Sunderland beat them 1-0.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, like I say, a mixed start. Obviously we're unbeaten still, which is the thing that we have over them at the minute. Hopefully that stays the same tomorrow. But what have you made to their start of the season? Do you think it'll be Sheffield winning? All right.
Hey, well. Speak of the devil.
Were it Glasema? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's crap anyway.
What were you saying, mate?
Yeah, no. So, what do you make to their start of the season? Do you think the fact that they've lost a game works to our advantage? Do you think they'll be confident going into it, or?
I think they'll be confident, mate. It's still real early in the season. I mean, saying that, we'd have been absolutely fuming if we lost. Well, I don't know. When you said we're undefeated, I look back, I was like, are we? And then I was like, oh yeah, that Middlesbrough game was messed with my head.
In the league, we're undefeated.
Yeah, that Middlesbrough game messed with my head. It doesn't. because we drew the first game and what I feel like we all felt we should have win. That sort of sits with me like a loss. I know it could have been a win if Brendan Allenson scored the last minute, but I think they'll be confident for sure, mate. Like I said, I think I rate Scott Parker. I know not many people do, but he's done it twice already with Fulham and Bournemouth. So he's obviously got a system that works. And like you said, mate, I rate him. But the business they've done, Sarmiento, I think that's business. Jaden Anthony, I'm not too concerned about him. We know what he's all about. And have they signed anyone else of note?
I can't think, to be honest.
I
don't really pay attention to like other teams in this league. I know it sounds quite arrogant and stuff, but I just don't. I know of a few players that they've brought in fairness, but I mean, I was going to ask you about Parker actually, because I don't 100% rate him as a manager. I know he's got promoted with 2 different clubs out of this league before, but it always seems like when he gets promoted, it just doesn't work in the Premier League. Now, I know obviously we can only judge him now in the Championship, but it does feel like he's got a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a prick at teams, to be honest.
Absolutely, mate. Sorry, they signed a winger for 18 million.
Oh?
Burnley.
They signed a winger for 18 million?
Yeah, 18 million euro called Mike Trezor.
Never heard of him.
And they had that lad from Forest, Joe Worrell, centre half.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him, to be fair. Yeah, they have.
Hannibal from Scum.
Hannibal, yeah. We were linked with him briefly. Don't know how true that was.
That Bashir Humphreys, the one that you said got absolutely violated when he played for Swansea.
Yeah.
And well, hopefully they signed John Egan, I think yesterday, the old Sheffield United captain.
They've signed John Egan as well?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a proper Championship name, isn't it?
Proper champion. Square ball, they call him.
But yeah, Parker for me, I don't know. It just seems like he's a really unlikable bloke.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'll be buzzing if we beat him.
No, mate.
Because his post-match interview will be amazing if we win. But yeah, like I know you said you rated him, but I know he's got 2 promotions under his belt, so he knows what he's doing in this league. Same as Farke, yeah, but I just think Farke's the better coach and the better manager personally. 100%. And I'm not just saying that because he's ours. I'd say it even if he were at a different team, to be honest. But I think even if Parker gets Burnley promoted, I think he'll be sacked within the first few months of next season.
Yeah, mate.
Personally.
Or he might walk out at Bournemouth.
Well, exactly, yeah. And he basically came out, didn't he? I think they got beat. They got beat 9-0 by Liverpool at Anfield.
They got beat down, mate. Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not happy."
And he came out and just slated the whole squad, just in the media. It's like, even if you feel all that stuff, you don't say it in the media, do you? No. You deal with it behind closed doors. But again, it's just a prick. But obviously, in terms of us, then our injury news and team news going into this, obviously Dan James unfortunately has re-injured himself, so he'll be out until after the next international break.
We've got another one soon.
Yeah, I think the Sunderland game away is the last game before the international break. I think we've got 5 games and then there's another one. Yeah, I know. On the plus side, Verba's injured.
Hey.
Get in. And also on the plus side, Pat Bamford is back.
Yeah, I can.
As Michael's saying, yeah, Bamford is back. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. He's not going to play tomorrow, is he? Let's be honest.
No, not the way Matty Joseph's going.
But I mean, I think if we didn't have the likes of Ramazani, Solomon, Nonto, etc. at the minute, I'd be a bit worried with losing Dan James. But this isn't anything against Dan James, but I'm not concerned that he's out, because I feel like the quality that we've got to come in to play that position, I think's just unreal. at this level anyway, I think, mate. I mean, are you concerned about him being out, or are you happy with the options we've got now?
Not concerned with the options we've got, mate. I think if everyone's fit, we've got a problem because we've got 4 very good wingers that all want to play.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we might try and move Nonto inside or something like that. But when we've got 4, I mean, our winger depth is like not even arguably, it's the best in the league, mate. I don't think anyone's better than that. With like Manor Solomon is a joke if we can keep him fit. Ramazani, all right, we've only seen a very small sample size, but he looked very, very good at what we've seen. And then Dan James and Nonto. I rate Dan James so highly, not based on skill or anything like that, but just work rate, mate. He puts it in like defensively as well. So I love him, but I feel like he's a bit cursed. Whenever he starts playing well, then he gets injured and someone else comes in.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this level is a bit of a cheat code, really. I think just his pace alone, obviously can really frighten some fullbacks in this league. But I was thinking about this today actually, and I don't think this will happen. Just a caveat, I don't think it will. But it would be interesting to maybe drop Aronson,
right?
Put Nonto in the 10 and have Ramazani and Solomon on either side.
Mate, yeah, I'd be all for it. But like you said, I don't think he will.
No, he won't, because Aronson, and rightly so, Aronson has had a good start. Fair play to him. And he won't do it. But I just think, because Nonto can play in the 10. Everyone knows that he can play
tactics, in the 10. That, Charles, isn't it? FIFA tactics.
It is, but I just think it'd just be interesting to see how it'd go, because I think the quality on either side there, Ramazani coming in off at left, Solomon off at right, or vice versa. You could even have Nonto floating out there and other, Solomon floating into a 10.
Yeah,
because let's be honest,
they seem to like swap and change, don't they? Whoever's him on like the right side.
Exactly, that's what I was just going to say. I think tomorrow you'll see Aronson and Nonto just switching throughout the game, which I think is a good thing, really, because it confuses the opposition. And I think giving Nonto that free role, I think will just bring the best out of him, 100% in my opinion, anyway. Just a quick question on Archie Gray there from Arthur. If we were in the Premier League, would Gray still have gone? Probably not. I don't think anyone would have gone, really. I don't think.
I think it's about the clause, mate. Like, was the clause still valid if we went up still? Did he still have a £40 million clause?
I think it was just if we didn't go up.
Right. No, yeah, he'd still be here then.
If that's the case, then he would definitely still be here. I think Georgie would still be here. I think Cree would still be here as well. 100%. But anyway, that's a depressing subject because that didn't happen. But yeah, obviously we'll just discuss team news there. So we'll give our predicted 11s now. I don't think there'll be many surprises in here, to be honest with you. In goal, it'll be old biscuit wrists, won't it? Ilan Melier.
Poppadom hands.
Poppadom hands, yeah. I mean, I just don't know.
You called him the hologram before. That made me laugh.
Yeah, hologram. Yeah. I genuinely as well, and it isn't an agenda. Everyone that puts on that shirt, I want to do well. And if he has a blinder of a game tomorrow, then I'll come on here and say he has. I hope he does, but I just think people get so gassed when he makes like one Hollywood save, and they make out he's the best keeper in the league. He's not.
Then he can't catch.
Really not.
You know what I mean?
Can't catch a corner. He doesn't command his box. His distribution is shocking. Really bad.
All I'm keeper is them to do the basics well. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Kick it far. Save
I'm at the south stand end, obviously, and I see him in front of me a lot, and I don't think you ever really see him barking orders at the defence. No. You never see him trying to organise. Like you say, from set pieces, I think he's woeful. Distribution, I've already said, but the main thing for me is his near post. I've never seen a keeper be so vulnerable at his near post in my life. But again, I'm saying all this, and he'll have a blinder tomorrow and probably get man of the match. But
a penalty last minute.
I hope he does. That's the thing. Never saved a penalty.
No, he hasn't, mate, ever.
Never, ever saved a penalty.
We should get Alex
And
Cairns.
again, a penalty is just one of them things. And 9 times out of 10, penalties get scored.
Yeah, but he's been involved in a lot of shootouts with us, and he's still never saved any.
He's faced a lot of penalties in league games as well. He's never saved one. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, Ilham Elliott, as much as we've said all that, he will be starting tomorrow. There'll be no surprises there.
Alex Cairns for me.
Well, yeah, or Caldalo. Wales is number 1.
Wales.
Obviously, the back 4, I think, will be the same. Obviously, Bogle, Rodon, Strauch, and Firpo.
Firpo's a striker now for Dominican. See
he's
that?
a striker and is a wide number 10.
Is it that way?
He was playing on the left of a midfield 3 in the second game. So if you see Junior Firpo floating about up front tomorrow, don't be alarmed. I mean, he's been...
That's just the norm, that, mate. Anyway,
he's been doing it for weeks. But yeah, all jokes aside, I can't see any changes in the back 4.
No.
Don't know about you. No. The midfield is where I would like to see a change, although I don't think we will.
You're taking Ilya out again. You got an agenda against him.
I don't have an agenda against him. I really don't. But I just want someone next to Ampadu that's a bit more forward thinking, just to add a bit of balance. That's all it is. I'm not saying Grove's a bad player. I just think together they just don't complement each other, in my opinion. Anyway. But I would put Tanaka in. I would, yeah. If it was up to me, I would.
10 minutes.
The fact that he'd been at the club for not even 24 hours and he had a chant was unreal, to be honest. But yeah, I think it will be Gruev and Ampadu.
Yeah.
I think he will stick with that, but I would like to say AO in that role alongside Ampadu, but who knows? He might surprise us there, but I don't think he will.
His name's not actually AO, is it? It's like Al or something.
Yeah, it's like Al, but I'm not having that. His name's AO.
AO, I agree.
His name's AO. It's like everyone calls Peru, and I'm like, no, his name's Peru. Even if he says his name's Peru, it's not. It's Peru.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and then obviously the 3 in behind, I assume, will be Solomon, Aronson, Nonto, and then obviously Joseph up top.
Bamford for me.
Yeah. Moving on. But no, I think it will be that. And I definitely think that is a more than competent 11 to get the job done in this game. It'd be nice to see maybe Tanaka, if he is going to be a sub, at least maybe to come on and play a decent amount of minutes.
Yeah, half hour would be nice.
Half hour, 20 minutes or so. Be good for old Largy as well to come on and get a bit more time as well, because I think he's the one that I'm actually more excited to see, if I'm being honest with you.
If it was a close game and we bring him on, I'll be like, here we go then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd like to think, though, that I do think we'll win. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as what you may think, although I admire the optimism. I'm going 2-1.
2-1 scorers?
Scorers. I'll go Solomon to get his first. And I'll go with Joseph to get another as well. And I think their goal will be a crappy set-piece goal or something. Yeah, probably. Or a penalty or something like that. Like you say, I think they have got good players going forward, but I just think, we've kept 3 clean sheets in a row now against decent teams, I must say, especially West Brom. I know that game at the time didn't seem great, but I think now when you look back on it, it is a good result.
I've just thought
Sheffield Wednesday are decent at home as well, and we managed to keep them at bay as well. So yeah, overall, I am confident, but I do think we'll concede, but I do think we'll win. Yeah.
Is it going to be 1-0 Jadon Anthony tomorrow? Can you imagine?
Oh. As thoughts that I didn't want to have in my head tonight, that's one of them.
That's one. We'll talk about Bielsa.
It was like, I think think you said before the Hull game, I think Cooper were linked with Hull, and you were like, imagine if he plays and he scores. I'd be like, no.
But he
just briefly as well. Just briefly as well, because I don't think we've spoken about it on this channel properly.
Yeah.
Cooper going to Bulgaria is a weird one.
Weirdest thing. You could have given me 100 guesses at his next club at the end of last season, and it wouldn't have been Bulgaria.
How are they going to understand him?
We didn't understand him at the best of times with his whole accent.
No.
Maybe
and the announcement video was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Like an anime movie trailer, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just not that bloke, is he?
Nah,
he's just not that guy to do all like that. And obviously, I get it; like they've got to announce it somehow, but and it's a red shirt as well. It don't look right.
Just think when he signed for us, signing videos weren't even a thing. So that'll be the first time he's ever had to do that.
And I knew as soon as that he were in a car, I was saying to my missus, I said, he's going to be in a Cooper. He's going to be in a Mini Cooper, 100%. And she's like, why? And I went, well, his name's Liam Cooper, so he's going to be in a Cooper, obviously. But yeah, I had a photo with Coops a few years back. I think we played. God, who did we play? We played Blackpool at York in a friendly in pre-season. And I had a photo outside the ground with him, seemed like a decent bloke. Really good captain, great servant of the club, obviously. Been through some really, really bad times, but also really good times as well. And I think I speak for you as well, mate, when we say, we wish him all the best out in Bulgaria. And hope he gets a nice tan out there.
Cheap beer, as we discussed.
Cheap beer, and he can finish his career in the sun. And I don't blame him for that, really, to be honest.
Are they paying him a fortune or something? Right.
I don't know if it's one of them leagues where they've got money. I don't know, but I think it was rumored that he might go to Saudi at one point as well. I think that was in January.
That was when we went down, wasn't it? And then he got injured against Cardiff.
Was it? Right. Yeah.
And I think that's why it fell through. Saudi second.
That'd have been weirder for me if he'd have gone to Saudi. That'd have been even weirder. But yeah, so are you still sticking with your 4-0 prediction, or do you want to change it?
I've told you, mate, 1-0 Jadon Anthony. No, yeah, I'm going 4-0, mate. Why not?
4-0, you scorers?
Matty Joseph to get 2. I keep saying the big sexy pirate, so hopefully he will score sometime soon.
Yeah.
And then some reason I want to say Joe Rathwell, weirdly.
Joe Rathwell?
Free kick or something.
Off the bench?
Yeah, later on.
Could you imagine the scenes
if does his ACL?
If Tanaka comes off at bench and scores winner or something?
Oh, mate, the song would be biblical, mate.
I don't think I'd leave ground. Obviously, it's the last game I'll go to before my holiday now. So obviously, I won't be at Elland Road until I think the next game that I'll be at is Sheffield United on that Friday night game in October. That'll be my next one now after tomorrow. I think I missed the Coventry game at home. So yeah, but like you said, there's some. I think the next few games actually are quite tough.
They are.
Burnley, you've got Cardiff away, which is always a bit of a.
What was a sticky one? Since we lost to them in the Prem in the Cup.
Yeah,
like proper Leeds, like Viduka and that. We lost to them when they were in like League One or some other championship.
Yeah. I've heard about that. Yeah, I mean we beat them there quite comfortably last season in the end, but I still think that could be. I don't think it'll be a banana skin as such, but it's got potential, I think. But then obviously we've got Coventry. I think they're a decent side in this league, and then 2 away games in 3 days at Norwich and Sunderland.
That's unfair, that's different ends of the country, that, isn't it?
Exactly,
Norwich, come on.
And anything to have a bit of Sky Sports Leeds. Anything to have a bit of that. But yeah, hopefully we can come through these next 5 with maximum points, hopefully. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for tonight, guys. We've been going just over half an hour. I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover tonight. Appreciate everyone that has joined in. I understand it's a Friday night and that people have lives, unlike us. But I do appreciate everyone that's joined in the chat tonight. Big thank you to Isaac once again for joining me.
No problem. Man.
And yeah, let's hope, fingers crossed, that it's a home win and that I'm on here with Owen tomorrow night and we're both in good spirits. And then obviously there'll be the white wall on Sunday. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, the usual time with obviously the rest of the gang. Where it's a little bit more unfiltered, we can say what we want to a degree.
If we lose,
it's a little bit more sophisticated, as Isaac said last night on Chatting Leeds. But no, guys, in all seriousness, make sure that you're checking out the White Wall. Like I say, we'll be live on Sunday night to discuss the game. There'll be plenty of content on this channel over the weekend as well, so make sure that you are hitting that notification bell. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in a bit. Cheers.